This is a very interesting ban because it has very select uses unless your name is Chovy. In which case he is willing to pick that up into pretty much anything, and with LeBlanc having already been banned away, Aurelia wouldn't have necessarily been a bad pick.
Lysandra, alongside Rise, known as just super safe laner, unless you're Grace. As Kingen, okay. He's like, well, the Nico worked out for me in game 1. Why not try it again in game 2? You can see Nico overall here in the LCK is 5-1. So
you want to talk about an unfun champion?
Yeah.
I really think that she's it. It's auto attack based, doesn't really do anything, has a Morgana binding that can pass through units. I mean, it's amazing. It's absolutely fantastic. Combined and steroided with Teemo-like movement. It's absolutely great. Jin Air, what is with the Garen hovers? I asked Atlas this once. Do you know?
It's because Garen is the only champion LCK that hasn't been played, right? Ever in the history of LCK. I think everything else has been picked, so.
It's going to be Lucian Braum yet again here for Jin Air. So another power bottom lane. Now, you could just go Ashe Tahm Kench and say no. You could just basically be like, I heard you want to play.
Or just pick it later after Gragas Yasuo. As that's exactly what's going to happen here. Gragas banned in game 1, but not banned in game 2.
Well, we'll have to see if that is the Yasuo for BDD there in the mid lane, as Jin Air, maybe they're going to try a different angle here at this Nico. And if they end up locking in the Kennen, it just feels like Nico does everything that Kennen does, but better. And so that's some pretty weird champion design right now, but it looks like they're going to try to fight fire with fire, and maybe there's something about this matchup that I don't quite know. This will be my first time seeing it.
I guess it's a stun versus a root. It's really the only thing I can think about, really. We'll see what kind of build the Kennen does go for, too.
Draven now being banned away from KT. Olaf bites the dust. And Olaf is, I guess, a little bit surprising to be banned away, because when you're as mobile and slippery as KT's comp already is, it doesn't feel like Olaf should be that threatening of a pick. Then again, we play in a region that doesn't pick Karthus, so.
Well, I mean, a tournament, I suppose.
Yeah.
A 10 teams
Sometimes
that
they
don't.
picked it. He was picked last week in the LCK.
That's true.
So, there is some hope. Well, Jin Air now have banned away the Alistar. So just trying to remove a champion that can maybe give Yasuo more access. And what will Jin Air's choice be? I think that you end up just picking the jungler here. We have seen Kennen appear as a mid laner sometimes. And so maybe trying to conceal whether or not he is in fact a top laner would probably just be the best choice. And
I think, if I'm not mistaken, Chungo was one of those guys who did play the Kennen mid. Not 100% sure, but... Okay, guys, here we go. Nobody go to bed. We have an emergency. First pick of Zed is coming out in game 2. As if it couldn't get any better, Mr. LS.
Well, we're going to see if the Zed ends up in the middle lane or top. As we see, Chungo has the Ignite selected on the Zed.
Oh, yeah.
And Tahm Kench is locked in. I think if this is your comp, you probably just pick Ashe. You neutralize the Lucian and the Braum. Instead, they're hovering a Sivir. Yeah, there you go. Said this earlier, Ashe Tahm Kench, and you just say no. There is no more of a neutralizing bottom lane that currently exists in the meta than Ashe Tahm Kench, but instead...
Oh, okay.
Oh!
Oh, there it is! Oh, man!
Oh, man! We're getting everything tonight.
Jin Air gonna make things even more fun. They heard my call.
They heard me up here, I think. They heard me from the coach booth. Oh, man. He's here.
This is great. Oh, man. Zed, Karthus, and Cannon alongside a bot duo that worked once.
I get to be here for all the Karthus picks.
Yeah.
There's nothing. All right.
That's one thing Papa doesn't have on you. It doesn't get to cast any Karthus.
Doesn't get to. So, this is going to be an interesting team comp now. Because Karthus, he sort of changes the game. He changes the way that lanes are allowed to be played. He's interesting in the sense that he ganks you while farming, so that's fair. Nico, Gragas, Yasuo, Ashe, and Tahm Kench are going to have a heavy reliance on this Yasuo getting ahead, because none of these champions have the best time against Karthus. They're all going to be easy access. They don't want to build magic resistance because there's way too much physical damage on the enemy team. So this Karthus is going to be hitting for near true damage on most of them once he gets the Stork Pen Boots in the Oblivion Orb. And on the flip side, Lucian, Braum, Kennen in the mid lane. We're going to have to see if that's an AD Kennen against the Yasuo, as you do want to have as little magic damage on your team as possible. Karthus and Zed up in the top lane. Oh, this is... I'm excited.
It's going to be a spicy game too, guys. Let's hop onto the Rift right now and see if he can outdo game number 1's Clown Fiesta. Let's jump into it now. Jin Air chant. Quite loud, as nobody's allowed to go to bed, guys, now. If you were planning on it, you know, it's not happening anymore. And it looks like Chungo is just going to be the mid laner for today, as Cannon's up top, and Chungo is, in fact, in the mid lane on the Zed. So, Zed versus Yasuo. Used to be that nice matchup, and look at this play from Root. Trying to sneak on in there. Will we have the flash engage?
Oh,
I'm
man.
not sure.
Oh,
man.
man.
He gets the stun. Snowflower has to flash out of that one. Nice beginning once again here going to Jin Air.
They even have the sweeper on the Karthus. They're moving here. They're going to pick up one of the wards. Grace now.
These games matters. All over the place.
This is it. This is the highlight. There is no greater way to encapsulate Jin Air versus KT than what we're seeing here tonight. Now, let me talk a bit about Karthus.
Yeah, go ahead.
So,
just take all the time you need.
He is the fastest clearing jungler in the game that still offers about 200, 220 damage if he ends up farming. Now, C's is trying to gank his Karthus.
Apparently, he's a ganking jungler, and that is because they got that flash down there, and the first blood goes to Karthus, too. How about an extra 400 gold to get him online?
Looks like he wants to come maybe right back around. No, he's instead going to be pathing to the Wraith camp, and this is the ticking time bomb that KT are going to have now, is trying to find out a way to deal with him. He also already has one Dark Harvest stack here at 2 minutes and 20 seconds into the game. And you can see that Gragas is full clearing Karthus' jungle, which means that he's going to get rubber banded Raptors and Krugs for free. Not what you want to be doing against this champion. As sees, he doesn't actually end up leaving just one small Raptor, which I think is very surprising.
He's going back down bot, by the way. There is a ward here, but it is going to be swept out. As looks like he's even going to be going on into the Krugs here, or maybe actually looking for... what is going on today? They're going for a dive. They want to get on Tekengo here, as he's going to go down. Kellen has got the heal perfectly played. They even get another Dark Harvest, and the Stunned Seas picks up the kill. They get a double kill in the bot lane. What is Jin Air doing?
Well, they are winning this game, Brendan, as Root and Kellen have an enormous lead down here in the bottom lane. They're going to get a plate even to boot. Snowflower's still level 1, by the way.
He doesn't have Devour. He couldn't devour the Ashe on the dive. Oh, man.
Take a look at this once again, and this is so beautifully crafted. They slow pushed the wave, so they had this massive minion wave. In the event that Ashe or someone would offer an auto attack, maybe some of the minions could end up even aiding Jin Air inside of this. And how great the heal coming out the way that they juggled the aggro, the Dark Harvest stacks being picked up on the Karthus. And Root managed to get out there at the end as well. And look at the gold disparity in bottom lane. Almost 1,000 gold score. Going for a bit of a cheeky gank up here. He knows that the lane is pushing into Kingen, and so the obligation is on Grace here to make sure that this is a clean crash. Could end up meaning that Grace will go down here, but Kingen is a little bit... Oh, they're going to go right now. Oh, they pulled the trigger way too early.
Yeah, it was pushing. Like you were mentioning, could have waited, you know, a good 10 seconds, and you probably have that kill.
You probably have a much easier window when the gap exists between the minions and the champion. But one of the upsides, though, is that Score is actually going to be able to get to the rubber-banded Krug camp here up at the top.
Look at the last time the Zed was played in LCK, by the way. That is the summer of 2017. So that is a long time ago. Longju BDD, the last person to pick this one up, and now he's playing against it in the mid lane.
Sees now, very interesting itemization choice. Sork Pen boots. He wants to deal as much damage as possible, which tells me this is going to be a ganking Karthus.
Well, he's dead.
Not
nice
one
bait into the fight, by the way.
That is trying to farm, but I'll pick up an Infernal Drake here. Kellen coming over to help out. Has the blue buff. And this is a really nice pickup right here. Lucian, Zed, Kennen, they're all basically going to get a longsword.
Yeah, longsword to begin with, as Score is trying to recreate what happened in game 1 that got Kingen so far ahead to be able to carry. Not quite able to get the kill there. Grace actually still has his flash anyway, so doing pretty well to avoid the gank the second time.
Root and Kellen once again here in this game.
Look at Ash's CS, by the way.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at it. It's 21. I like that.
Yeah.
Massive wave about to crash. Definitely going to get a lot of chip damage here. As Karthus, never mind. He said, you know what, I'm not interested.
Yeah. This time around, it's the right play. Gragas was going to be in position for that red buff, and sees pretty low after the Inferno is just going to go back.
Solo plate gold now going over to Root on that Lucian. And honestly, everything this game is really working out for them except that top lane. Although Grace does have quite a massive wave that's about to crash onto the turret. Kingen doesn't seem too keen on trying to press on for the plate. This means that Karthus is going to be level 6 soon. And that's when Gango and Snowflower are going to have to be really careful. And that's also when BDD is going to have to be really, really careful against the Zed. As all of a sudden you can have full HP, and then in the blink of an eye, you get shot for 250 while the guy's farming his wolf camp.
Casually. Doesn't even look you in the eye. As he just drops down the mother load.
He's
from the
so
sky.
mad that he's having to spend time channeling instead of casting his lay waste. We'll have to see what ends up happening. He's about to hit 6, I believe, on this Krug camp up here. Unless that was a small golem that was left. I think that it was, as he pings it. Unless he's pinging to say, I get 6 off the... Oh, he did. He just get 6.
Yeah.
Maybe we're just going to see an immediate all-in. Maybe BDD doesn't even know what's coming to him. If these shurikens both hit, I'm almost certain that we would see an all-in.
Observers say that it's not happening today. There's a Ghost Poro in here, so he's going to clear that out. And he already has Sork Pen boots, as Gango taking an immense amount of damage. Root and Kellen continuing the domination in the bottom lane.
And right now, I mean, the only thing that Jin Air has to do is that they have to really hope that the disadvantages being accrued in mid and top are able to be offset by Teddy here in game number 2. I mean, Root. I mean, I can't tell the difference. Jin Air AD, you know. So.
You know, time is a flat circle, and everything just repeats itself. So Teddy and Root basically the same person here, as trying to bait DDD into a potential fight. Windwall's down now. Maybe the time is now, but C's waiting in the wings, not going to seize his moment. And he'll just back away for a potential play. You'll notice that Zed still just has a Doran shield. So now is not the time anyway, as Gragas is in the bottom lane. Not sure if they spotted him there, but not going to be on point. But here sees they're going for the all-in you were talking about. The flash on in, and BDD super low. Look at the damage out of that Cardinus as Tungo on the Zed. A super important kill to pick up already.
Yeah, and he completely offsets all of the pressure that was just present in mid lane. Zed doesn't push on for a turret, which is very bizarre. You can see he cancels his recall, so really slowing down the speed at which he's going to be able to raise one of those plates there in mid lane. Definitely some miscommunication. And so now Karthus, he's able to conserve his ultimate.
As Score is just passing through. Take another look at this fight, though.
And so they know that Karthus was coming. That ward did spot him, which is so bizarre. BDD trying to be a hero. Has flash, Brendan.
Yeah.
That's the D key.
Okay.
Well, that's my reaction. everyone.
Yeah.
I'm so
like,
glad
wait, what?
that me and the broadcast are all thinking the same thing. We're getting the
You guys are really on point together today. That's
We're
good.
in perfect harmony.
You and Saturday broadcast, you know.
Also, interesting first item, Gustblade of Drakthar completed for Zed, not the Yumu's Ghostblade. And so he will be able to further clear out vision around the side, making, I guess, a little bit easier access for the Karthus to just waltz into the lane.
Yeah.
And if some people are wondering, why is this guy playing Zed or whatnot, this is actually, I believe, Hyun-un, who is the Zed god on Korea. For a couple of years, he only played Zed. That was his whole stream. It would be like if, what's the NA player? Is it LL Stylish or something? He played in competitive. This is the equivalency of like a Riven enthusiast getting Riven. I believe that is him.
Tungo, definitely that player, as another bait going to happen, and Karthus really happy this time around. The slow comes down, and there's the stun. He's just channeling it in front of Kingen. Just says, no, I don't care if you get away. You still have flash. I'm going to make sure you go down now.
And here's the other thing about this Karthus ultimate, is that it does damage to other lanes as well, which can really offset some of the current balance. And oh yeah.
Yeah, this is what you're talking about, you know. Ult comes down, and immediately Root and Kellen able to pull the trigger and continue getting more lane presence and denying wards with that play.
And here now.
Oh, there's no more Devour. They're flashing on in, but Exhaust comes out. And there's the arrow. He's under turret. He might be going down. They went too far. This time around did Root and Kellen. As the lick not going to land onto Kellen. He will get away, but Root will pay the price.
Definitely some needless aggression coming out there from Root and Kellen at this point in time. Really offsets the pressure down there in bottom. Gengo even able to conserve his flash. And they can't have stuff like this happening. We're going to take another quick replay at ganking Karthus up here in top lane. You can see Kingen probably thought he was in a good spot right there. Ends up getting locked up. Wall of Pain came out and said, you know what, I want you to watch this.
I love to zoom in on the Karthus.
And the reason that he does that is because he knows that Kingen has flash available. He's not going to be able to help out anymore. You can see the Root and Kellen, they come in here, they really disrespect the exhaust from Snowflower, and it ends up netting KT way back in. And now, gold lead is only 1,000, but Infernal Drake is present. Jungle item completed for Karthus. Interesting, it is a red smite on him.
That's,
normally Karthus doesn't auto attack.
Yeah.
He just usually chilling
not
smites
what
you
you
and
see
then
every
Qs.
day,
Yeah.
but Grace, has he seen this before? He has his slicing Maelstrom. He's going to go down the lane. He just says, see you later. I'm going to try to stun you guys and delay and maybe even get a shot on the Rift Herald, but will be able to go down here as there was no saving his life. And it looks like this first turret of the game should go the way of KT in the top lane.
Yeah, it will definitely be going over the way of KT, and Grace here yet again in game number 2 doing the same thing as game number 1. Not utilizing his minimap to realize that there are no enemy champions present inside of their own jungle or bottom lane.
Oh, is that what you're supposed to do?
I do believe that that is a good way to utilize it.
I just use the minimap for pinging my allies.
Okay.
I didn't realize there were other uses. As, yeah, I mean, he's going to get caught once again. And he is going for that AP cannon this time around. So, did not listen or heed your warnings of building too much AP and allowing KT to build up on some MR against him and the Karthus.
One of the highlights, though, is that Yasuo does have the Phantom Dancer, and so that passive does help out a little bit. I guess I'm curious because we didn't get to see their secondary runes, right? If they have the nullifying orb, or what is it called? The pseudo hex drinker.
Yeah, I know which rune you're talking about. It's top left.
It's in the sorcery tree, yeah. It's to the left of Monoflow Ban. That's a very powerful rune against Karthus if you do end up speccing into that tree.
Yeah.
Next dragon coming up here in 3 minutes. I feel like we missed a dragon capture, right? Like there's a dragon missing.
Yeah, there was a Cloud Drake and it was taken, but they didn't put it up yet.
Okay.
I think that was Jinair that picked that up, probably as the dive was happening up on the top side.
Yeah. Okay. So double Cloud Drake.
It looks like they have that that Cloud Drake passive on them as well. As Jungo looking for the potential flank here. They're going for the engage. As look at the damage already. No great.
Oh!
See you later. 1-2 punch from the side of Zed. And now King it all alone. Oh, baby! The Zoe, or rather the Yasuo, into the backline just decimates the entire team. A quadra kill for BDD. What a cast! That was unbelievable response.
You know what? Oh no! I feel like this is a foreshadowing that Griffin Dawan is not going to be that great.
I know. First series is too good.
The first series is way too good. Oh my god, what was that?
Oh man.
We need another replay.
I mean, it just looks so good for Jinair, right? The flank on the Zed, the insta blow up on the Ashe.
That was the weirdest thing. That was like being told that you won the Powerball, and,
yeah.
And then so it was like, actually, wait, sorry, wrong digit. Right at the very end there. We can see this starts out so perfectly. For Jinair, Jungo, he gets in there, they kill King, but then everyone clumping up right there. Score said, hold on, let me settle the score here. As BDD, you interpret that acronym any way you want right now. He was able to really even this out here. Score flashes right at the very end, probably anticipating Root coming over the wall. We got a nail-biter game series on our hand. This game is extremely close.
Okay. You couldn't really expect much less after game number 1, I suppose you could say. And especially after Zed and Karthus got picked. As it's all about the team fight for both of these teams. And, well, here we go again. They're going to try to get the stun on Snowflower, who's forced to flash away. Cullen comes out, and Root is just role-playing his game 1 dominance, saying, I am the best AD carry on the Rift tonight.
He's doing such a fantastic job here in game number 2, outside of that one hiccup that happened way earlier, but right now, Jinair, I mean, they must still be feeling great. We don't have Karthus highlighted at the bottom left yet. I don't know how many Dark Harvest stacks he has. That would be definitely something I would be interested in knowing. But you can see that now with the Sork Pen boots and the Oblivion Orb. Oh, looks like the Observer's heard me. 7. He has 7.
Observers
Ashe,
are listening.
34 magic resist. Karthus basically dealing true damage. Let's see if we get another champion. 44, well, Zed's on his team. So
how many does he have? 33?
He had 34.
Oh,
Kango has 34. We'll see if maybe we get to see other champions that end up getting clicked on.
Yeah.
Karthus has 33 magic penetration right now. And so, any day now.
Best bang for your buck, I suppose, as even in the top lane, take a look at the items here from Kingen. He's building towards a Wit's End. He doesn't have any armor. And Chungo just shows up in the lane. He's like, hello, I'd like to take your turret. Kingen says, okay, yes, sir. Please take my turret. As Gengo doesn't have his Tahm Kench, but he gets spotted there, and no engage or tower dive will happen.
So that's one of the things that the Karthus comps can really do, is do you build the magic resist to try to resist his damage, and then forego any sort of armor, as we see Yasuo 42 MR. So not quite true damage, but definitely very close to it.
Yeah.
And if you build magic resist, well, you have a Zed and a Lucian that is pounding your face. Interesting though, the Kennen is going for AP Kennen. I would have really expected Wit's End, because then with the Wit's End in the laning phase, if you can just whack them a few times and Karthus has Sorkpen boots, his first ult is dealing true damage.
Yeah. And then even after that, eventually, if
and team
Kennen
fights
did ever join, you know, with that kind of build, sometimes with that build you're going for just straight split pushing, but could have definitely helped out if Kennen was just in the back line, just autoing as many people as possible and shredding MR, but not going to happen. I love the addition of just the pure assassin in the Zed too, with that idea that you're talking about. You always want to kind of build up that armor against guys like Zed and just make him useless, because he's really only good at, you know, surprise, surprise, assassinating. But can't quite itemize into everything and also build damage at the same time, as got a bit of a trade going on here. Wall's going to come down, and arrow to the face right now. Going to get that root down here, but they have to get this one. As Exhaust is going to be forced to be used onto root, as the stun did come in.
And Zed wasn't there. I really do think that if he was there with Yasuo and Gragas being locked up in top lane, they could have certainly gotten a kill or two in mid lane. So a little bit of a lost opportunity. We're going to have to see who gets the blue buff here, as it does look like Chungo is making his way down.
Although the Karthus... Okay, yeah, it is going to go the way of Zed.
Morellonomicon completed. I guess trying to work against the Blade of the Ruin Kings, and even, I guess, the thick skin plus the healing from Gragas.
Yeah.
So, here now. Game number 2, even gold at the top. Almost identical.
This is what we need for the multiple Baron Steals. As, okay, Chungo. You're in a bit of trouble here, as we got a bunch of people behind you, too, trying to do that damage on the assassination. As Karthus and Zed, that's not going to be enough. See you later.
Ends up being a 1-for-1, but KT had to commit a lot more than Jin Air did. And so now we're going to get a little bit of a stalled game state, though. Karthus doesn't have his ultimate. 251 AP, 2 minutes until Karthus gets that back up. He is going to be farming top lane. And this is another interesting feature, and I know that I'm talking a lot about this jungler pick, but it's because we don't get to see it that much in LCK. Yeah. And so some viewers, they might think, well, why are they picking it? I've been very vocal. This is the strongest jungler in the game for a while now, a couple of months, and that's why it's been so perplexing why he hasn't shown his face in the LCK tournament sooner than this. And so one of the reasons that you might actually devote side lane gold to him is get him to 16 as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Get him those items, give him that gold, and he's one of the unique junglers that wants that. In this replay here, we can see this is one of the worst imaginable spots for Chungo to be in, but it just doesn't matter. He presses R, Karthus presses R.
I love the Solari at the end. It's like, yeah, that's going to save you. No, it's not.
So now we're back into the live game. 400 gold lead here for Jin Air.
It was hovering the E, as it is a 3-second route once it passes through something. Nico trying to, you know, her best Morgana role play. Doing pretty good at it.
Well, Edge of Night. Also, no Yumu's Ghostblade for the Zed. And I'm trying to imagine what could the Edge of Night possibly be channeled against, realistically. I guess maybe if he wants to go in for an assassination on the Ashe, he can't just press R if she sees him.
I guess so. Other than that, though, I mean, you can
But he has
dodge
the Ruby
casts
Crystal.
and stuff like that with your ults. And
Here's another Ruby Crystal, Brendan. I actually don't know.
Tank Zed.
I really don't know what it could actually be for. He might go into the tank department because there's no resistances present on the enemy team.
What about a Black
Like,
Cleaver or something?
when you have the Karthus present, you don't need all that lethality to get the final kill in.
Yeah.
You know?
True.
The Requiem will come down and it will do it for you. So maybe we do see him itemize a little bit defensively. And like I was saying earlier, for people that might be watching, this is not just a random Zed. This is the Korean Zed of the Challenger ladder.
This guy knows what he's doing.
Yes.
Right? He's played
he has the most games
of
on Zed in all of Korea. So he has been a frequent Challenger Zed main for years prior to entering into pro play.
Ash is pretty good at saying no, as you succinctly put it in the pick back. He says, no, you're not going to start a Fenny Baron. It doesn't matter if we don't have vision right now. Jin Air, if they are going to try to start that objective, they'll have to do it in the interim when the Hawk shot is down. But it's not very much time overall. 2 Ashes, by the way. This is Nico in the bottom lane.
It's kind of like, you know what we should get? You know, usually I do this with Atlas, but
Yeah, well.
I'll let you have
Sorry.
some of the fun today, too. What about a Mystique Nico skin? Go ahead and tell me you don't know who Mystique is.
What are you
Get
talking about?
Just get off the
Mystique?
cast. I have had enough. Mystique from
Is that
X-Men.
a Pokemon?
No, what?
The only thing that you guys talk about is Pokemon and X-Men and superhero movies and stuff like that.
That is what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
well, you know, I assumed it was, yes, 50-50 chance. What do you want from me? I did the best I could.
Oh, man.
I don't need to see the reskin superhero movie that comes out 7 times a year. No, thank you. I have a little bit of a lull state here.
So, it does look like the Ruby Crystal on the Zed was going into the Phage, so I guess he wants the Black Cleaver. But the reason that it's so surprising to me is because he went Edge of Night second, which, yes, it gave him a little bit of lethality, but it seems very peculiar to spec into the Black Cleaver so much later into the game when the only person that can utilize the amplification of it is going to be the Lucian, who has a Black Cleaver himself.
Yeah.
So this is really weird. Sure, you get HP. Sure, you get cooldown reduction. But it's just... It's really weird, Brendan. It really, really is.
Maybe, you know, he doesn't get this far in a solo queue games. He's like, oh, game's not over already? What do I build next? I guess Black Cleaver's a good item. As, I suppose KT is saying, sure, Karthus, you can hit level 16 if you'd like. Not really able to put down the pressure right now.
BDD has Sterix and Phantom Dancer. They have the same unique passive. There is no...
Oh, no!
I mean, just... The absolute... The absolute juggernaut
hey man,
that is the series.
New item, right? New item.
Oh, man. 7 stages of hell, 7 steps of heaven. I imagine this is what's at the top.
That's definitely a VADV build, for sure.
Yeah.
Not one you want to try at home, guys. Do not take notes from this game. We have this mountain coming up in a minute. That could be pretty nice. We had more mountains to talk about in game number 1 that actually did have a big effect on the way the game was played.
Game is a mountain.
A mountain we gotta climb.
It's the highest quality.
We're nearing the apex right here of the cliff, the zenith. It's coming soon.
Oh man.
Bringing out my SAT words now. Have enough time.
All right, well, we're in a little bit of a lull state here, which is definitely not something I would have expected with how nuts the Lucian was early on in terms of how far ahead he was, how aggressive he was, and the type of lead that he managed to generate for himself with the help of the Karthus. There's a Zed present in the game, and yet we are having a volleyball just being passed back and forth.
Do you pass a volleyball?
Do you? I don't know.
I think you
don't pass.
You hit it or you bump it or something? Bump it sounds wrong.
Bump it does sound. Oh, wasn't there something when we were kids, like
bop it?
Yeah, bop it, right?
Maybe you bop the volleyball.
Maybe you do. Maybe you clown. Well, I know that you clown bop.
Yeah, you do.
People clown bop all the time.
Teams get bopped all the time in LCK.
They do.
And in regions around the world. As you can see, both these teams are going to put a very high price and value onto this Mountain Drake. Jinair grouping up and thinking maybe they'll go and check, but it's not going to happen right yet. As Kingen and Score are just getting to work on it right now. Can they do enough damage? Grace, though, trying to get in range here, not quite able to steal it away as the smite is on point.
We're having a really large pan out, and everyone behind us is very excited, and I'm trying to see what I'm missing. But
Korean casters are freaking out as Grace was going to get 3-second rooted there, said no with his own flash. Here's Score, though, looking for that cast, not going to commit. BDD is level 16, but this isn't the timing. They don't want to dive the turrets just yet.
They're waiting for that level 16 Karthus power spike.
Yeah.
And the sad part is that they might actually be.
Yeah.
Hold on, guys. Let me get 2 more levels.
What about KT? Shouldn't they be trying to push the envelope here in some way?
You really can't, though. That's the problem. Unless they make a pick onto one of Jinair's members.
Gragas Yasuo, right? That's the idea, but so far Jinair has just been so passive that there really hasn't been an opportunity.
Well, Chungo maybe going to try to do something here onto BDD, who looks like he's going to be itemizing.
Chungo trying to steal away his level 16. Doing a good job of it, stole a lot of that last XP.
Just getting the
okay. Chungo low on energy here is going to dodge that ultimate with his own. The TP's coming in. Grace immediately gets exhausted. Cast comes in though, and BDD looks like he was stunned. Not quite able to get in there, but they still are able to dunk down onto that cannon, and oh boy.
Oh man.
She's in position. He's just gonna flash on in. He says he's gonna do enough damage. And can he though? Gengo is gonna have that GA popped in the end. Score, able to get out of there. Chungo going in with Root, trying to assassinate some guys. Already get one. They're looking to come around the bend here. But can they actually do it this fight on a knife's edge? KT confident enough to continue on in for the push. But the ultimate is back here for Chungo. You can see they're really thinking about engaging after that barrel. Here they come, the flash on in. They want to get onto that Tom Kench, but Chungo, okay, here we go. Gonna assassinate that one, but he leaves Root and Kellen alone here just to go for the runaway. As Root's still alive.
Oh, he's actually healing quite a bit on the minions. But
he's got that lifesteal, but
he's gonna probably try to turn. Yeah, it just doesn't matter though.
There he goes, down he goes. So very extended fight, but in the end, turret goes down.
The problem with this is that now KT get to come off of Fountain. There's 40 seconds on the 80 carry of Jinair, and Chungo hasn't recalled yet. We'll see this fight one more time. So Shadow and Shurikens being thrown at BDD. And it was then that they pull the trigger and they're like, okay, he has no energy. You can see the Edge of Night was cast. He does the Zed ultimate, and then Grace comes in here only to be exhausted, does virtually no damage. Sees not casting Qs the way that I would have expected. And then you can see here that he ends up putting himself in a position to get locked down by King, and then he flashes forward And it seemed like he was on a different page with some of the other members, as right here, BDD.
Picture in picture, by the way, Baron goes down. As you were mentioning, Lucian just not able to get up in time.
And so this might actually be the end for Jin Air. And then right here, this is the most perplexing thing in the entire universe, because the sheer thought that 3 people come to the conclusion that this type of a dance here against these KT champions was a good choice, and then Zed says, peace out. I'm gonna kill
I'm getting the kill.
He really wanted some catfish tonight.
And props to him, he got it. You know, takes what he wants.
Well,
Zed ultimate, by the way, now very super low cooldown. Was up twice in that fight, basically.
And so now, KT, they're going to be the ones on the assault here. They have almost a 5,000 gold lead. They are pushing on to the tier 2 turret in mid. They just have to be careful. Karthus, he has an endlessly large rod. Not sure how far away he might be from the death cap. He opted into a void staff shortly after as Grace and Chungo.
Yeah, 2-on-1 down here. Pop Blossom going to not too much.
Kingen
as he's already dead. Can the Devourer come in? No. As Kellen, not really on the same page there, going to get hit in the face by that one. Cask even comes in. BDD looking for the kill and will pick it up in the response here for the Nika.
It ends up being a 1-for-1, but this is definitely going to be advantageous for Jin Air. There's only a minute and a half almost remaining on the Baron, as they're not going to be able to utilize another wave in top lane. And so the Ashe's positioning, not the best. Chungo even going to be able to shred through the minion wave in middle lane, as everyone is barreling straight to that Elder. And now here's the problem. They don't have ultimates available for this Elder.
Yeah, KT doesn't, but Jin Air looks like they do. They have the Requiem, they have Zeds. No slicing Maelstrom.
I don't know what Zed's doing. I think that they should have just 50-50'd it. No, they can definitely lose from this angle. Oh, man. Oh, this is scary.
Cask is going to be up now for the next fight, and so is Last Breath, and Jin Air. This time around, the gambit does not pay off.
KT, maybe they want to be the ones. No Hawk Shot cast from Ash. They're going to clear out the vision first. That Scuttle Crab thingy, majig, is... Scuttle Crab thing.
Scuttle Crab.
It is going to definitely prove to be... This is an awful, awful position from Jin Air right now. They're going to have to funnel through this narrow corridor.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Zed first, I suppose, as they come over the wall, and, well... Seas is going to go down. Does he bother to ult?
No, you don't ult.
The answer is no. Nothing he could do in terms of getting a kill, as Jin Air really floundering here.
Now, Jin Air seem extremely indecisive. They don't seem to know what to do in spots like this. I think that they should have tried to burst the Elder. It would have been the best chance at trying to salvage the game state. And then Karthus goes into passive, and you can try to make a play from there, because the Elder would really hurt, but instead... They flounder, like you said. They gave up a position. Right now, Chungo trying to shred through the minion wave in mid lane so that KT don't have another location to go to. 17 seconds now on the Karthus. KT, maybe they want to say they want to end the game instead.
You know, just casually moving through the base, coming up to the top side.
Karthus has ult. This isn't necessarily a 4v4. Realistically, Karthus is just an R button at most parts of the game anyways. Occasionally, he hits a Q or two.
Yeah. That's hard, though, you know.
That is hard.
It's very difficult to land a Q.
This is a very awkward type of inhibitor. Oh, man.
Okay. Stops the back here, and, well, Gragas is alone. Nearly able to get that GA here. Nice little dash away, but Kellen is here to eventually get the stun down into a Q, and that's the time where you can get the Q. That's actually a shutdown here on a C's. We might see him hit that pretty sweet hack here a little bit faster than we were expecting.
And I really like, actually, the discipline from Score not flashing. And the reason that I say that is because you look at the map right now and you wonder, okay, if Gragas is dead for 50 seconds, what differently will Jin Air actually do? Nothing.
Yeah.
They're going to be playing base defense on the super minions. They can't barrel down mid lane in a 50-second window, and even if they could, they would just end up getting repelled at the mid-tier 2 turret off the first wave. Someone would then have to go back and handle the super minions coming in top and bottom, and then Gragas is up again. And so he doesn't need to flash to live there, because 300 gold at 40 minutes in the game doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it's very true. I mean, you look at score about
Why
to
does
spawn here
BDD
in
have a
5
hex
seconds.
shrinker?
I don't know.
3 of those items.
I don't know what to tell you. Somebody get this guy. Somebody print out some patch notes for BDD.
Can someone check if his client's in Korean or
Someone
English?
link
Like,
him the LS patch rundown so you can have a little bit of help with this one.
what is he doing?
He wants all of the shields.
Yellow, orange, green, orange, red, yellow. I'm not. Maybe there's a puzzle between the colors.
Maybe there is.
Yeah,
Maybe it's a sign.
Maybe it is a sign.
You know that prisoner that was blinking a torture on the propaganda video? Maybe he's doing that kind of thing.
Listen, Brendan, I talked with Brendan enough to never question what pros do, okay? So
Okay.
I just want you to know that, all right?
Sure.
He surely has a reason that just
There must be a reason.
it goes over my head.
Yeah. There's no way you would understand, right? 'Cause
Absolutely.
you're not a pro. As we're GA hunting here, actually. We're going to go for the ult onto Tom Kent. As can he do the damage to Devour? Is not onto the AD carry. As Gango's going to go down. BDD's going to go down here eventually. Stopwatch will be used by Gango. Does a bit of damage to Root. They do get the AD carry of Dinner, but look at the base. It's happening again. Kingen. And this time it's not going to be a base race. No way that they can get the backs now. GG Kingen does it again.
What a way to lose twice to a backdoor. And honestly,
you know?
this is also part of the unfun thing that I'm talking about with this Nico, is that normally champions that want to do this in theory, like a Tryndamere, like a Master Yi or Teemo, they kind of can't in competitive.
Yeah.
This champion can, because champions that are supposed to be able to stop her can't. And it's just such a massive threat. You see Jin Air, they panic at the end there, they end up taking a team fight. And another thing that we get to realize today is that Karthus can't even get Jin Air a win. He can do a lot of things.
Yeah.
All right, but he can't do that.
He's not that powerful, LS. His power only goes so far, but could not net Jin Air a win. And, you know, I never thought I'd be saying this, but I wanted a Game 3 of KT versus Jin Air tonight and a delay to the Dom1 Griffin series. But after the way those 2 games went, I would have loved to cast another game like that. But it's not going to happen tonight, guys. Sorry. Maybe we'll see it again in relegation.
Yeah, and this was a really, really important 2-0 here for KT. They needed to come out with a win tonight. And even though the forces of the cosmos were working against them in the form of the lifeline Yasuo, they still managed to pull out a win here tonight. And that is that's the true upside. As it looks like Jin Air, they would probably need an Infinity Gauntlet to come up with a win at this point.
Yeah.
As, you know what, they were already in relegation. The only thing that they were fighting for was not for themselves, but for Afrika.
Yeah, they're trying to win some fans too, you know. So Karthus, Zed come out, and they're nearly able to win on the back of that one. That said, KT Water Dumpling, and then BDD. I suppose maybe he's the water tumbling of the team. Not sure about the reference, but also not sure about his build. Definitely want to put the shutdown on that one. I'm sure the coach is going to pull him aside and say, by the way, never do that again. That's not allowed.
Well, I'm sure that many will be on the lookout for Yasuo's tonight in ranked.
Yeah.
They're just going to copy-paste that build order.
Great build, right?
It was fantastic. Triple lifeline. Triple lifeline. He was playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
It wasn't even the double, it was the triple at the end. He's like, wait, I can do even better.
I can do one more.
Yeah. KT roller coaster.
The real highlight would be getting Maw of Malmortius and then getting a Hex Drinker.
Yeah. Topping it off with number 4. This is BDD.
That was BDD. Not sure that's a sign. he wants to be holding up right now, but it doesn't have the itemization printed on it, so it's all right. We're gonna have to see who gets MVP this game. The hilarity would ensue if it is actually BDD.
Yeah, he pressed his R ability really nicely.
Because it can't be either bot laner, right? Is it Kingen again?
I guess so, right?
Maybe.
Score? I mean, he had a couple of good casts.
You know it's coming, right? You know BDD's going to get it. You can feel it, right? You can feel it in the air, Brendan.
We said it before, though, where it's like the
no, I've been here.
Votes.
I've been here long enough to know that logic is not applied.
We threw that out a long time ago, before this cast even started.
Brendan.
Wait for it, yeah.
The triple lifeline Yasuo is going to get it.
Said it before, time is a flat circle.
We've
seen this before.
If he gets MVP vote, I want them to ask about his build.
Yeah, of course. Maybe Mina's going to get up there and be like, by the way, I know this, and I'm in silver.
This was the fight that won the game for both teams in its own right. It looked like Jin Air was going to win. A 4-man Yasuo? You only get this in montages on YouTube or something. I don't even... You know, when people invite like 9 players to a custom game, they're like, look, at this exact moment, I need you to do this. I'm going to turn nameplates off, say it's Challenger. Normally, this never happens. And this really just showcased the power of the dual synergy between the Zed and the Karthus. How awful of a situation that was when it started. And then still being able to go 1-for-1 in a way. Here in top lane, Chungo getting caught out. They called in the teleport from Grace. And he was able to do nothing at all because of the exhaust. You can see that C is trying to lay wastes that are always just going to hit multiple members, in which case it's not going to do a lot of damage. He ends up getting locked up. He jumps right in and just not able to do anything. They get BDD in the end, but then with their powers combined, managed to come to the conclusion that they wanted to dance back and forth against KT. And then right here, this was the dragon that they should have just burst. And you know, I've said this before about Jin Air. It's better to lose like this than it is to just have all of your lanes lose and then slowly lose the game. It feels so much better to know that you could have just made a few decisions differently and you could have won the game. Because it's really hard to get to this point. And then it's very easy to fix this. But it's not easy to fix laning phase problems. It's not easy to make someone stop going down 30-40 CS. And so here we are seeing the end game score chart. Relatively low damage coming out of the Karthus, as the Kennen clearly was not an answer to the Nico. And Root, I mean, Jin Air ADCs, man. You know how it goes.
It's get the most damage in the game nearly twice in a row. He was second behind the Zoe in game 1, but most damage on his team twice in a row. Can't quite carry it. Doesn't matter how hard he tries. Jin Air will say no to him time and again. And yeah, I think the Nico, good stuff from Kingen, but it is going to be Score that does pick it up this time around. So no deja vu this time, LS.
Well, definitely, I think, pretty good MVP choice. I think it should have been between him or Kingen in the end here, as that Gragas, it really did set it up for Yasuo right here. So let me reset this game really quick. And that is exactly what he did. That was a Thanos snap if I've ever seen it. You don't get the reference. It's all right.
Yeah, it's all right. Something about killing people, I'm sure.
No.
Killing champions or whatever. And part of the reason why that happened is because Nico got in there, got the multi-man root, and got the pop blossom. But either way, I'm going to hand it over to Ji-Sun. She's going to translate the interview.
Thank you very much, guys. We're going to be joined by Kingen and Score from KT Rolster, picking up 2-0 victory today. You guys did have a long losing streak. So today's victory will mean a lot to you. How do you feel about this win?
이제 저희도 이제 승강전 위기기도 하고 하니까
Well, we are really so close to going down to the relegation, so we really want to win all the remaining games with 2-0 score.
알겠습니다. 스코어 선수, 킹겐 선수 말씀하셨지만
And
사실
just like King
승강전
and just said,
위기거든요. 하지만
you
아직
guys are so
확정은 아니란
close going
말이에요.
down
충분히
there, but it's not
올라갈 수도
confirmed
있다고
yet.
생각을
So
해요.
네.
어떻게 대비하고 계신가요?
how you're preparing your upcoming series?
승강전에 안 가기 위해서 저희가 이제
We're
오늘
just-
경기가
just like we did
어찌됐든
today.
제일 중요한
I mean,
경기였는데
Junior series was the most important match for us.
어쨌든 이겨서
네.
And I'm just so relieved that we got this
되게
victory.
기분이 좋은 상태입니다.
Feels really
네,
good.
스코어 선수 아까 화면에 이렇게 막 1세트 끝나고 손을
After
떠는
game
장면도
one,
나왔는데요.
I saw your hands were
이렇게 오래
shaking
경기를
shaking.
하셨음에도 불구하고 이런 경기를
Even after a
하면 좀
long
떨리고
career,
그러신가요?
do you feel so excited after winning such game?
롤챔스를 오래 했는데
Well, I've been playing in LCK for a long time,
지금이 제일
but
한바탕
I think
떨리는
this is the moment that every single game really counts to me and it's so important to me.
스코어 선수도 떨게 만드는 요즘 정말 재밌는 매치들 이어지고 있습니다. 킹겐 선수 1세트, 2세트
킹겐.
다 니코로 활약을 보여주셨는데요.
Played Nico in both
니코가
games.
핫픽스 버전인데도 불구하고 현재 티어가 많이 높아졌어요.
So how do you rate
이유가
Nico
뭐라고
currently,
생각하세요?
even though it is nerfed and hotfix is on?
사이드로 사실 막을 챔피언들이 별로
Well,
없어서
if you go with AD item build, actually there is no champion to stop Nico in the side
한
lane.
번에 죽을 각도 있고
And if you just land your combo with E and ultimate, it's really easy to make
네,
kills.
그런 장점들이 있는데 오늘 사실 라이저 오른이 이렇게
Today,
수업
actually,
하셨나요?
Did you expect a rise in Orin rotation?
어느 정도 저희끼리는 염두하고 있었던 것 같아요.
Yes, we did.
네, 그렇게 수합을 해서 오른이 사실 조이 상대로
So you were-
나쁘지 않은 모습도 보여줬고
You guys had to face up against
초반에
Orin in the
바텀이
mid
많이
lane and
힘들기도
Rise in
해서
top lane, and also
부담감이
bot
크실 것
laners were
같아요.
struggling a
어떻게
lot in
풀어야
the
된다고
early
생각하세요?
stage of game. So
그냥
did
무조건
that
사이드
add more pressure on
압박해서
your shoulder?
상대가 되려
I just
바로
want to keep my priority to side
치는
lane,
압박을
and
받게 하려고
I just want to
우리도
force them to try
했었는데
Baron.
생각보다 잘 안 풀려서
But it didn't really go as I
많이
planned.
힘들었는데
So we did have a lot of struggles, but we had some good plays in the bot lane, so we were able to close out the game.
상대가 그 바론 역스티를 하는 장면도 나왔고 이렇게 끝까지 어떻게 풀릴지 모르는 상황이었단
Yeah,
말이에요.
game one was so long
선수는
extended that
이때까지만
no one
해도
could
승리가
actually
훨씬
expect
가장
who's gonna win the
힘들었을
game.
텐데요. 어떻게 풀어야겠다고 좀 생각을 하셨나요? 어떤
So how
전략이
did
있었나요?
you play the game score?
일단 저희가 좀 중반에 많이 게임이
Well, in the
비벼져서
mid game,
이제
the game got
누가
so much
이길지
even, so
질지를 계속 모르는 상태였는데
we weren't really sure who's gonna
끝날
win the game.
때까지도
And even
일단
in the last
누가
moment that
이길지
we took
모르는
down the
상태였고
Nexus,
저희는
we
그래도
weren't really sure to
최대한
tell who's gonna
니코를
win, but
사이드로 보내면서
we were just doing our best to play around
전략을
Nico, putting her in the side
네, 그렇게
lane.
니코가 계속 사이드로 움직이고 마지막 백도어 장면 직전에 라이즈를 잡아낸 게 사실상 엄청 큰 나비 효과가 됐다고 생각이 들어요. 그때
And
쉔과
you guys
함께
also
잘
took down Rise
잡아내셨는데
in the
쉔
very late
좋으신
phase of
건가요?
the game with
어떻게
Shen,
생각하시나요?
so I think that was really
이
the
맞는
most
순간
significant
그냥
moment.
아니다 싶어서
As soon as I landed my E, I knew this is it, so I just called him to just put your ultimate on me.
사실 상대도 루시안이 저쪽에서 이제
Well, there was a base race in the end. Well, actually, Lucian was also trying to take down the Nexus, so were you confident at that moment?
무섭긴 했는데 동빈이
I was
형이
actually terrified, but
하고 막 소리쳐가지고 상대도
Score
막
was yelling at me,
소리치니까
just life steal, life steal.
저는 맵으로 보면 루시안이 먼저 깰 것 같고 막
But
너무 무서웠는데
looking at the minimap, I thought that Lucian was gonna take it down first, but
먼저 깼던 것
Score
같아요.
maybe gave me some useful advice, so we were able to close out the game with our hands. But this is the highlight you mentioned.
킹겐 선수가 점점 피가 이제 줄어들고
You were going so low, Kingen.
하지만 정말 잘 살아남으셨단 말이에요.
However, you were
많이 떨리셨죠?
able to survive and
피를 보시면
take down the
안 했으면
Nexus.
저희가 질각이었잖아요.
네.
Well, without their
근데
life
제
steal, I
무대를
would have
보시면 막
died.
전 넥서스 치려고
But I was
앞으로
thinking of just
가는데
taking down the Nexus,
민현이
but
가지 말라고
Score was
멈춰가지고
keep telling me just don't go and life steal.
야, 이렇게
That was
정말
so
멋지고
useful,
재밌는
and he really helped me out a
백도어
lot.
장면이 나왔습니다. 그렇게 2세트로 이제 가게 됐는데 2세트만큼은
So you guys started game 2. Did you guys want an easier game for game 2?
일단은 뭐 최근에 게임하면서 절대로 그렇게
Well,
편안하게
recently I have never had
하면
any
좋겠다고
game with an easy mindset.
생각하면서 한 적은
You know,
없고요.
네.
아무래도
every game is so important
너무
right now.
소중하다 보니까 이 판도 무조건 이겨야 된다.
I just wanted to win the game for sure.
네, 그 반드시 이겨야겠다는 마음으로 야라가스를
So
승부수를
you guys
띄웠습니다. 그런데 상대가
Showed Yasuo and Gragas combo once again, but Junior also tried Zed and Karthus composition, which is also a good duo, right?
전략으로 대비하겠다고 생각하셨나요?
Are you concerned about that?
일단 제드 카스
Speaking of Zed and Karthus,
저희 보성이가 일단 제드를
Well,
잘하고
BDD
저도 이제
is a good
카서스를
Zed
좀
player, and me
공서스라고
as
좀
well.
알아주는
I'm a very
친구라서
famous Karthus jungler, so
자연스럽게 대처가
we were
됐던
able
것
to kind of easily play against it.
것 같은데요. 초반 설계는 어땠나요, 정글?
So how was your jungling path
일단
then?
카서스가 인베가 강하기 때문에
Karthus has a very strong
인베 올
invade,
거를 미리
so
예측하고
we just
있었고
wanted to be aware of that. We were
그렇게
expecting that.
정글링을 해도
And we
그렇게
were,
나쁘지
I
않다고
mean,
판단해서
Gragas, I thought it would be really bad
잘
to have a
대처했던
50-50
것
jungling.
같아요.
So I think I kind of played up against Karthus quite well.
있었죠. 사실상 전투가 끝나지 않았나 싶은
So there was this
장면에서
amazing
니코,
highlight in the mid lane that actually we thought that the team fight was over, but you just re-engaged with BDD and picked up quadra kill on Yasuo.
그런데 이렇게 니코까지 연계를 해서 나왔습니다. 이때 빼지 않았던 이유는 뭔가요?
So why did you guys back up there?
일단은 싸움각을 봤는데 거의
Well, we did see the angle coming, but we actually thought we might be losing. But Kingen TP'd and he landed so many CCs with his ultimate, so and BDD was just like wah, and I just ulted and he ulted, so we were able to engage over there.
보는 저희들도 몰랐는데요. 이게 야라가스의 힘이구나라는
We
걸
saw the
정말
power of
제대로
Yasuo
느낄 수
Gragas combo once
있었습니다.
again.
다시 한번 오늘 승리 정말
And once again,
축하드리고요.
congratulations
이제
on your
남은
victory.
경기 더욱 중요하잖아요.
You know,
네.
you still have some remaining games which are so
어떤 각오로
important.
임하실
So how are you
계획이신가요?
gonna prepare for that?
일단은 많은 분들이 조금 이제
Well,
기대감이 슬슬 없어지지
A lot
않나
of fans, I mean,
싶긴 하지만
they are
저희가
now
이제
not
이런
really expecting
기대감이
about us,
없지만서도
but
잘해서 꼭
we just
승강전
wanna do
탈출하는
well and
모습을
get out of the
보여드리도록
potential relegation
우리
zone.
팬분들이 숙박 선수 흥강전 경험 안 하셨으면 좋겠다 이런 말씀이
Yeah, a lot of
정말
fans are still
많더라고요.
saying that they don't
KT
want
계속해서 응원하도록 하겠습니다.
Want you to
킹겐
experience
선수는
the
어떤
hard time of
각오이신가요?
the promotions. And what about you,
저는-
Kingen?
저도 동빈이 형이랑 같은 생각인데
Well,
그래도
same as
저는
score,
신인답지 않은 경기력
but
보여주려고
I wanna
노력하는
also
게
show
있어요.
performance, not like a
이미
rookie
보여줄 수
player. I
있다고
just wanna
생각을
perform
하는데요.
so
앞으로도
well.
계속해서 기대해 보도록 하겠습니다. 아모른 직다 아직 모르죠?
We still don't know, right?
열심히 응원하도록 하겠습니다. 팬분들도
So we'll be
다시
still
한번 큰 박수로
Rooting for you
응원해 주시기
guys,
바랍니다.
and this will be the end of the interview with Kingen.
네,
A
오늘
score from
인터뷰
KT
감사합니다.
Rolster, and I'm gonna pass it back to our casters. Thank
네,
you.
킹겐 선수, 스코어 선수 만나봤습니다. 중계선 연결할게요.
Thank you, Ji-sun, as always, for that translation. And how do you top that spectacular performance of League of Legends? I don't think you really can.
Well,
LS?
certainly not with Griffin versus Damwon, I'll tell you that much. I mean, like,
Yeah, well,
I don't even know why I'm still here after this. You know, like.
might as well, just let it, people
I mean,
just watch
I'm
it on a
looking back
cast.
and everyone's leaving too. they got the right idea.
Yeah.
You know, so that was it for the KT versus Jin Air. I mean, you might not like it, but that is what peak League of Legends performance looks like. And if you want to see what suboptimal performance looks like, you come back in a little bit for Griffin versus Damwon.
So we're taking a look at this, the final race to get out of the relegation zone. You can see that these three teams.
It's really hard. I mean,
wait.
just like
they have 2 games left apiece.
just like in Pokemon Go, Yellow. What one did you choose?
What?
Yellow,
Pokemon
blue, and
Go?
red? Yeah, Pokemon Go.
Oh, I never
Red, blue-
played that.
You are a degenerate. Oh my god. Who am I casting with? What is wrong? Oh man. All right. Well,
But I did play Pokemon Blue when I was a kid, so
same.
I'm.
Same.
Yeah.
Well,
So, Africa, they're safe. They're fine.
all right. Well, KT, they're gonna need to keep winning, as is Africa. Not out of the woods yet.
Yeah. KT is down a game, of course, but the other teams do have some hard opponents, so it really is undecided just yet, guys. But, of course, in about 40 minutes or so, we are going to jump into the next matchup of the night. It is going to be Griffin up against Damwon, in which should